cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned into. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know.
What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. 96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. I want everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe and click the like button. Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. What's up, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Think Thursday. Today's topic, Jamie Foxx and Katt Williams. Now, today I'm gonna be honest, guys. I have mixed feelings on both, so I'll probably be all over the place because I have so much to talk about. I want to talk about Jamie's Netflix special. I want to talk about Katt Williams' response. It's possible Corey Holcomb might get thrown up in here. Not just Corey, just a whole bunch of other comedian or comedian-inspired people that I may know of, or we all may know of, because it's to me, this is just my opinion. It's disappointing, and at the same time, some of it needed to be said. When I was growing up, I used to get on the bus. I used to go to Edgar Allan Poe's Elementary. And when I get on the bus in the morning, there was always this posting that used to say, "Do unto others as you want others to do unto you." And I seen this post, and I just see it, and it stuck with me because basically just don't do, you don't want nobody to do you wrong, don't do nobody else wrong. Don't talk about nobody else. Don't if you don't want nobody else to do that to you, don't do it, right? Then as I got older, I started taking theater arts. There was another post in my teacher, Sandra Shelton at Jackie Yates High School. I know y'all remember her, Miss Shonda. She was my theater arts teacher.
Miss Shelton.
Yeah. And she had a posting as well. Now, I'm in high school, and this one was All the World's a Stage. Okay? At the time, I knew, but I didn't know. Now that I'm older, both these postings, they're more enhanced, and I try to. This is the way I think. All the world's a stage. So with that, I want to get into Katt. Let's start with Katt Williams' response first. I'll give Jamie his flowers on his specials, but I guess we got to start with Jamie's movie. I guess we got to start. So, were you guys able to see Jamie's special?
Yeah,
some of it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did y'all like it?
I did.
I did as well. It took me 2 times to watch it. The first time I felt some type of way, but the second time I enjoyed it better.
Okay. The first time you watched it, you said you felt some kind of way, K Money. Tell me how the first time, not the second time, the first time you watched it, I want to see if you felt the way I felt.
Well, it wasn't your ordinary comedy special, and I think that's what I was looking for and anticipating, and it was more of a, it was more emotional. And it just wasn't, again, what I was expecting to be from a Jamie Foxx comedy special at that.
Right. What about you, Freddie G? What you thought about it?
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was great. And it was different and creative.
Yes. And Slash, you want to throw something in there?
From the parts that I saw, I just feel like Jamie Foxx is at a point now to where the truth is the truth, what you believe is what you believe, but he's just basically telling his side of, or his side of how he became Jamie Foxx, what he's been through to make him who he is. So I think it's good. Either way, like I say, I didn't see all of it, but the parts that I did see, I commend him for.
Okay, now I'm finna skirt back to 2011 Katt Williams comedy special. I think it was Katt Catastrophe, Catpocalypse, something like that. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but it came out in 2011. Now, I know y'all don't remember this part. He said, it's time for the bitch niggas and the real niggas to be basically identified. This year, we gonna learn about bitch niggas and real niggas. Remember that part?
I do.
Okay. He came out in 2011 saying what he was going to do. I believe, had this been any other comic with his comebacks on Jamie Foxx special, I wouldn't have believed it. But since 2011, Katt has always expressed basically the highly weird stuff that goes on. He's always expressed. However, what I did not agree with Jamie Foxx was you can't walk in. You have your own shoes you walk in, right? We all have our own walks of life. I didn't like the part of him stepping on Jamie's walk of life. However, Katt Williams had a lot of holes that he didn't add up. The mystery illness, that part. So, because it was too many conflicting stories about what was going on with Jamie Foxx. So, I agree with Katt about the mystery illness, but in somebody's walk of life, you shouldn't.
You don't attack it.
Yeah, don't attack it because it's the truth. It's his special kind of a little bit. I thought Ali Sadiq's special was way better because Ali did it in 4 parts. There's a domino effect. Well, there's a part called Losses, and I think it's part 3 in Ali Sadiq's where it's crying. A lot of people said Jamie Foxx's special was like a wake or what is it when you have the wake and they're talking about the people, that person. It's like he had a wake but he was still alive, and that's the feeling that I got. And then later on you bring your daughter out, which was beautiful. I commend you for that, to play the guitar. It went from a wake to entertainment to you like a Mike Tyson. Remember Mike Tyson did his special? That's what it was like. So I have mixed feelings on this special. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but it was more entertaining than believable.
Help me to understand.
It just wasn't believable. That's what I'm trying to say.
Help me to understand Katt Williams stand-up where you said the bitch niggas and the real niggas. When you use that, when you mentioned that, it made me think you were implying that Katt Williams was calling Jamie Foxx a bitch nigga.
Not calling him a bitch nigga, but he said in 2011 he was going to separate the two, right? Mm-hmm. So I want you to think back to Shannon Sharp's podcast. Okay. I want you to go.
I remember the
Go
podcast.
back to Shannon Sharp's podcast. Mm-hmm. We didn't know nothing about Shannon Sharp, right? I mean, we knew Shannon Sharp, but
I did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Shannon, we knew you, but you really didn't get that hot until after that Katt Williams. Can we all agree that?
I disagree.
You disagree?
His podcast.
It was hot. Okay, you don't think he got hotter after Katt Williams?
He got hotter after.
And he got more of better guests after Katt Williams? That's all I'm saying.
I can't say better guests.
Okay, well then, let's go here then. After Katt Williams, how many comedians came out of the woodworks like roaches to defend themselves? I just believe everybody did it on either Instagram or they did it on Shannon Sharp's show.
Let me ask you this.
I believe Jamie responded with his special. That's all I'm saying.
No, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can respect that.
Okay.
Hold on, Freddie G. You say Jamie responded to Katt?
Yeah. I believe he
did special.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
I don't see how you would get that, but I can respect it.
Right.
So, let me say this, man. Jamie Foxx's special, in my opinion, was brilliant. It was talented. And yes, it was a roller coaster.
And I agree.
And so during that roller coaster ride, there were some lows. And during that roller coaster ride, there were some highs. Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned about him bringing his daughter out, which you wasn't talking about it in a negative way.
No,
you
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
But he had to bring his daughter out because he reenacted, and those are my words.
Right, he was telling the story.
What happened to help him bring him out of his coma or whatever it was,
correct.
The playing of the guitar.
Right.
So why not bring my daughter here to
actually play,
to get the audience to feel what I was feeling when it brought me out. This is what brought me out, y'all. Now, when you say mystery illness, right?
Yeah.
When Katt Williams say mystery illness. So this is what get me about people. And I've actually had this conversation with other folk. Matter of fact, I had this conversation with somebody who's very close to me that we disagreed with. My thing is, I don't know why regular folk think that celebrities need to tell them what's going on with them whenever they feel like it. You're just a regular person. That person don't know you, and you don't need to tell everybody, a celebrity that you may watch or follow, don't need to come and post and tell you what's going on with him or her all the time. So I know that there's plenty of times when I've been sick, when I've had a stomach ache, or when I've had a hell of a head cold or something, and nobody never knew. I ain't never go tell nobody.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said that, Freddie G. Remember earlier I said I don't agree with Katt Williams talking about somebody's walk of life, right? I said that. I didn't agree with that. I went through the same instances in 2020. I was sick. No one knew. I was sick for a year. I went to the doctors. The doctor was, you're healthy. Blah, blah, blah. Ended up being a tapeworm, long story short. Ended up being a tapeworm, a roundworm. But they caught it like a year later. So I literally had a mystery illness. So when he talked about that, it kind of touched me because I'm like, man, I had the mystery illness, but we figured it out a year later. For you to do him like that, you don't know what that man went through.
Well, it was no longer a mystery because he revealed what the illness was.
Right, yeah, but Katt still kept saying wish. You feel me?
So, but as a comedian,
I'm just repeating what Katt said. That's all.
As a comedian, nothing is really off limits, though. Correct? And you being a comedian, you yourself.
Yeah, and again, let's talk about the sensitivity of that. If you're a comedian, first of all, you can't be a comedian if you're worried about what people think or say about you. You cannot be a comedian because no one is going to be 100% on your side every time. And then not only that, you got to be able to take shots. A lot of comedians cannot take shots. They can dish them, but they can't take it. I know for a fact, Ricky Smiley, he'll tell you straight up, man, I love ranking on people, but when somebody get me, man, I am not good at taking them. I cannot. And that's the thing. I don't see. You can take shots at Katt. He's just gonna take shots back. I don't think he gets offended. But a lot of people, a lot of comedians get on here, man. You should be apologizing. You should be. I've seen an interview with Katt where he's talking about you were the guy. You were the guy, right? That's what Kevin Williams said, that Katt Williams was the guy. Kevin Hart said that Katt Williams was the guy. You were the guy, but you kept messing up. You were the guy.
Yeah.
So I get that. But what did he have to do to be the guy? Why do you think he went to Shannon Sharpe to expose the industry? He probably was the guy.
Man, let me say this, man. When it comes to that, when people put stuff out there, man, sometimes they make broad statements. And when they make broad statements, they allow the listener to fill in whatever they want to fill in their head.
Right.
And that's what Katt Williams does, in my opinion.
True.
He, like, for instance, in his stand-up, I think it was all in the name of comedy, where he said he was at a particular party. He walked by a room, and he looked back, and he said, Professor Obi?
Yeah.
He said, Professor Obi.
Obi, I'm sorry.
Well, that was broad. I'm going to tell you why it was broad. Because the listeners automatically assume Professor Ogilvy
from Monique. Yeah.
Now, he left himself wiggle room to get out of that if he was ever pushed and pressed. Were you talking about me? Man, I said
Right.
Professor O.B.
O.B., yeah.
So, but when people are listening, I got an issue with people taking that stuff as gold.
True.
When people make broad blanket statements and leave it open, and now whatever you interpret it to be is what it is, and you think that that's gold or that's God.
Before Diddy got arrested, he had already said that many years before, and he was correct. What do we say about that? Is that coincidence? We call that coincidence?
Listen. Here's what we know about Diddy. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to change the narrative.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're
Here's
saying.
what we know about Diddy. For a fact. He was an abuser. We know that for a fact.
For a fact, yes.
Do we know that he is gay?
No, we don't have no.
But we take it and we run with it.
Correct.
Now, I'm not a Diddy apologizer. I'm not apologizing for Diddy. I'm not offending, taking up for Diddy. But sometimes, man, we have to use our head. Sometimes we have to think.
Okay. Katt Williams. Not only is Katt Williams saying this, you have Monique and Corey Holcomb. When you have 3 different separate comedians saying the same exact thing, now what?
Man, let me tell you this. Okay. I am a 5150 fan. Let me make this.
Same here.
Let me
Yes.
make this perfectly
5150
clear.
all the
I'm
way.
a 5150 fan.
Yeah.
But let me make this perfectly clear, man. Corey Holcomb contradicts himself a lot. Now, if Corey Holcomb ever listened to this podcast, I'm sure he would have a lot to say. But he contradicts himself a lot. And for other people who may be 5150 fans of his show, if y'all listen to him thinking what he's saying is gold, he makes a bunch of broad statements.
Right.
He makes a bunch of broad statements. And sometimes just because you're talking loud doesn't mean you're right.
I get that. But when it's consistently being said by multiple, I got you. When it was just Katt Williams, I got that. But when you consistently have, and it seems like everybody who's saying it, or should I call them outsiders or blackballed, and they're in their own lane is because they cannot get in the lane where they probably have bigger ideas.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to change the narrative because this is about Katt Williams and Jamie Foxx.
It
right?
is. No,
Okay.
not just that, but just
Yeah.
I told you I'm gonna be all over the place
Okay,
because
so let me ask you
this is a
this. Let me ask
controversy,
you this.
and we got to clear it up.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Katt Williams is doing any other drug other than marijuana?
I think everybody doing other drugs than marijuana.
I said Katt Williams. Do you believe that Katt Williams?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, have you heard anybody ever say that he's done any other drug other than marijuana?
Not at all. I haven't. Have
Okay.
you? No.
Yes.
You have. Okay.
I've heard different people say that he's on something other than marijuana.
Okay. Now,
Just because they all saying it doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's true.
correct.
So when you're saying that you got multiple people saying X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually true. But regular folk like us, we'll listen to these things and we take it and run with it instead of using common sense.
Well, they got that saying, when you hear more than one person saying the same thing,
It's got to be true.
9 times out of 10 it got to be true. But
Yeah, it's a
I do agree with what you're saying, Freddie G. You can't believe every fucking thing that you hear.
Or everything that you read nowadays.
Facts.
Because social media is big on wording. You know what I mean? And they'll say anything, and if you read it and you believe into anything you believe, then if you believe into anything you read, then people can tell you anything and you're going to believe it.
I know, and that was the thing. When and comedians, first of all, it's hard. It's kind of hard to kind of believe comedians, but I'm gonna come back home to Houston to our own local comedians. So I was doing comedy here. I wasn't sure to name this show. Did this show be a Black Friday or Think Thursday? Because I'm gonna be honest, the way the persona of a lot of these comedians is more crabs in the bucket. We cannot work together. We got to talk about each other and bring each other down instead of being a powerhouse and coming together and doing things, which is one of the reasons I was like, you know what, let me back up from actually doing comedy, and I don't mind putting the shows together and doing it that way. I'd rather not. Some of these comics I wouldn't want to interact because they're either trying to drag you down, talk about you, pretend to be your friend, and it's not genuine. And I think if Katt, do you know how much power it could be if Katt and Jamie could work together and put stuff together instead of fighting the way they are?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that Katt Williams can take a joke without getting upset?
I think he'll laugh and he'll come back. I don't think he'll get emotional about it.
So you don't think he'll get emotional, right?
Oh, no, he going to give you a comeback.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he won't be too emotional.
No,
it
no,
won't
no.
upset him. It won't rattle him.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think that Jamie Foxx can take a joke and not get rattled?
I think he'd do the same thing. He would come back just like he did in this special. He'd do the same thing.
Now,
I don't think he'll
Now, I don't, when you say come back just like he did in the special, let me be clear, make sure I'm understanding you. You think his special was aimed at Katt Williams?
No, I didn't think it was.
Because that's what you said earlier.
Okay, I think his special was to clear up possibly what Katt Williams, because Katt Williams is awesome on stage. I think it was to clear up speculations of what happened to him.
Okay.
His sickness, his health.
Okay, so his special didn't have anything to do with Katt Williams. It
No,
was
no,
everything
no. to
do with him.
That's what I said. I said it'll clear up the speculations of what happened to him. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I honestly think.
Okay, so you do believe that both of them can take jokes
I think
and not get offended.
I honestly think they can. Yes. K-Money, you about to say something?
No, I was just trying to understand what part of Jamie's special you felt was a comeback to the Katt Williams story.
You didn't hear the part where he was. I mean, he did it good too. He was mimicking Jamie Katt Williams. You didn't hear that?
Jamie was mimicking Katt?
Yeah, Mr. Realness. You didn't hear that?
Oh,
boy,
okay.
he did it good, man. Man, you would have thought Katt Williams is on stage. Jamie did an excellent. The show, I'm not gonna lie, I had mixed feelings, but like you said, Freddie G, it was well put together. I really enjoyed it.
So I am in agreement with you on both of them being able to take jabs at each other without getting offended. And the reason why I agree with you, because it has already happened in person when they used to do the foxhole.
Oh, for real?
Jamie used to have the foxhole.
Yeah.
And so Katt has been a guest on the foxhole. So as Kevin Hart, amongst others, they always rank and go back and forth with each other.
Exactly. I was about to say that too, and y'all know what time it is. Damn, that bus got here quick, man. I was about to get juicy into this thing, man. No homo. You look today, y'all. We kicking off. We're kicking off a guy named. He was a YouTuber. His name is Corey Pritchett Jr. And this actually happened here in Houston. Corey Pritchett. He was an internet personality and a musician with 3.9 million YouTube followers. He has been jailed for allegedly kidnapping 2 women back in November. So guess what? Corey, bruh, you off the bus and off the jail. And for that's our show for today. You guys take it easy. Peace. This concludes our show for today. And if you haven't done so already, follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast. Also, IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Black Friday.